Good evening, everybody. I welcome all to the 3 days national workshop on CSIR UGC NET for Life Sciences conducted by Botany for You. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Dr. Pitambar Human, founder of Botany for You, for his tireless efforts in making the students prepare more seriously and efficiently for competitive exams like CSIR NET. I appreciate Professor for his efforts taken. I'm grateful to you for having given this opportunity to deliver my lecture on the topic Gene Organization for Prokaryotes. I'm Dr. Jasmine Leena, heading the Department of Biochemistry with Sri Venkateswara Arts and Science College, Chennai. What is gene expression? Gene expression is the process by which the heritable information in a gene, the sequence of DNA base pairs, is made into a functional gene product such as protein or RNA, which means the DNA is transcribed into RNA, which is then translated into proteins. That is nothing but the central dogma of protein, the central dogma of molecular biology. How is gene regulated in eukaryotes and in prokaryotes? In eukaryotic cells, it is regulated by the presence of repressors, which act as transcriptional activators. Like the prokaryotic counterparts, eukaryotic repressors, they bind to specific DNA sequences and inhibit transcription. Other repressors, they compete with activators for binding to specific regulatory sequences. How is gene expression regulated in prokaryotes? The DNA of prokaryotes is organized into circular chromosome, supercoiled with the nuclear region of the cell cytoplasm. Repressors and activators are produced in the cell. Both repressors and activators, they regulate gene expression by binding to specific sites in the DNA adjacent to the genes they control. Gene regulation is the informal term that is used to describe any mechanism used by a cell to increase or decrease the production of specific gene products, which might be either protein or RNA. So cells, naturally, they can modify their expression patterns to trigger developmental pathways, respond to environmental stimuli, or adapt to new food sources. All points of gene expression can be regulated. They are transcription, RNA processing, and transport, translation, and post-translation modification of a protein and mRNA degradation. Principles of gene regulation. Gene regulation is a highly controlled turning on and off of gene expression. It occurs when RNA polymerase interacts with promoters. 3 types of proteins regulate transcription initiation by RNA polymerase. They are specificity factors, repressors, and activators. The importance of gene regulation. Why the genes are to be regulated? To control the amount of gene product present in the cell, to allow cells to adjust with changing condition, expression of appropriate genes at proper time, synchronized regulation of multiple genes encoding products with interdependent activities, prevent the wastage of cellular energy. Genes for products that are required for central metabolic pathways, they express more or less at a constant level, virtually in every cell of a species or organism. Such genes are known as housekeeping genes. We also have constitutive genes, gene products that increase in concentration under particular molecular circumstances. They are referred to as inducible, and the process is known as induction. Conversely, gene products that decrease in concentration in response to a molecular signal are referred to as repressible, and the process is called repression. Regulation of transcription is mediated by the activity of RNA polymerase and by the proteins participating in this regulation. The molecular basis for the recognition of specific DNA sequences by binding proteins. To compare the gene regulation between eukaryotes and prokaryotes, a fundamental difference between transcription control in bacteria and eukaryotes is the association of chromosomal DNA chromosomal DNA. The association of chromosomal DNA with histone aptamers, forming nucleosomes that associate into chromatin fibers that further associate into chromatin of varying degrees of condensation present in eukaryotes but not in prokaryotes. Overview of prokaryote transcription control. This represents the bacterial operon, where you have the genes A, B, and C, which are transcribed into polycystic mRNA. So you can see the activator site, the repressor, you can see the GNA. Onto the GNA, you have the activator binding site, you have the promoter, repressor binding site, the operator, and you also, the promoter regions are flanked by on both sides where regulatory sequences genes are transcribed as a unit. Action of activators and repressor in operon, negative regulation. Onto the DNA, we have the promoter region and the operator region. The binding of the molecular signal to the operator region, it causes the dissociation of the regulatory protein from the GNA. So a signal molecule causes the dissociation of the regulatory protein from the GNA, and whereby mRNA is being separated. Molecular signal, it causes binding of the regulatory protein to the GNA. So this molecular signal, it causes dissociation of the regulatory protein from the GNA, and again it causes the binding of the regulatory protein to the GNA, where mRNA is dissociated, and you can also see the signal and the molecule. Positive regulation, the bound activator molecule, it facilitates transcription. You can see the RNA polymerase moves from 5' to 3' direction, and we have the signal molecule here. So this is the binding of the signal molecule, it activates to the promoter region, that is to the operator. It facilitates the transcription. Difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes doesn't have specific chromosome structure. Even eukaryotes, they exploit chromatin structure to regulate transcription. Non-restrictive, RNA polymerase has access to every promoter region, and eukaryotes, it is restrictive. In the absence of regulatory proteins, RNA polymerase is inactive. The activator or repressor binds directly to the operon and induces or represses transcription without causing any conformational change. Whereas in eukaryotes, the activator or repressor binds to DNA and causes a conformational change, condensation in case of repressor or decondensation in case of activator. In prokaryotes, it does not involve acetylation, methylation, phosphorylation, or ubiquitination, whereas in eukaryotes, all these processes such as acetylation, methylation, phosphorylation, ubiquitination, sommelation, and many other processes, they are involved in conformational changes. In prokaryotes, the DNA control elements are closely associated to the promoter sequence, whereas in eukaryotes, the DNA control elements in which the transcription factor binds is farther than the promoter sequence. Both positive and negative regulation takes place in prokaryotes, whereas in the case of eukaryotes, only positive regulation is most predominant. In prokaryotes, transcription and translation are tightly controlled. That is, both happens in cytoplasm after one another, whereas in eukaryotes, transcripts produced in the nucleus are transferred to the cytoplasm. Several small RNAs are involved in regulation of RPOS gene, whereas in protein kinases, you can see the thing involved in gene expression. So coming to the regulation, we have the lac operon. Three different types of operons can be studied under the gene regulation prokaryotes. They are nothing but lac operon, tryptophan operon, and arabinose operon. Lac operon is nothing but the lactose operon. So glucose and the lactose levels, they control the initiation of transcription of the lac operon through their effects on the lac repressor protein, and CAP, which is nothing but the catabolite activator protein. Lactose addition, it increases the concentration of allolactose, which binds to the repressor protein and removes it from the DNA. Glucose addition, it decreases the concentration of cyclic AMP because cyclic AMP will no longer bind to catabolite activator protein. This gene activator protein dissociates from the DNA, turning off the operon. As shown in the image on the figure, CAP is known to induce a bend in the DNA when it binds. For the simplicity, the bend is not shown here. LAC-C, the first gene of the LAC operon, it encodes the enzyme beta-galactosidase, which breaks down the disaccharide lactose to galactose and glucose. The essential features of LAC operon is nothing but to regulate the genes. There are several LAC repressor binding sites located at different positions along the DNA, although the one illustrated exerts the greatest effect. Others are required for full repression. In addition, expression of the LAC operon is never completely shut down or totally shut down. A small amount of the enzyme beta-galactosidase is required to convert lactose to allolactose, thereby permitting the LAC repressor to be inactivated when lactose is added to the growth medium. In this image, you can see in the absence of the lactose, the LAC repressor binds and represses transcription from the LAC operon. Allolactose or another inducer, they bind to the LAC repressor, leading to the dissociation from DNA and to the production of lactose mRNA. Positive control of LAC operon by glucose. Low glucose levels, they activate aryl cyclase, which converts ATP to cyclic AMP and stimulates its binding to the regulatory sequences of various operons concerned with the metabolism of alternative sugars, such as lactose. Catabolite activator protein, it binds with the alpha subunit of RNA polymerase to activate transcription. So in low glucose level, transcription is activated by the enzyme RNA polymerase. Negative control of the LAC operon. The I gene, it encodes a repressor which in the absence of lactose binds to the operator and blocks transcription of three structural genes, beta-galactosidase, permease, and Z codes for beta-galactosidase, Y codes for permease, and A encodes transacetylase enzyme. Lactose induces the expression of the operon by binding to the repressor, which prevents the repressor from binding to the operator. So you have the promoter region, the operator region, followed by the gene Z, which is nothing but the beta-galactosidase enzyme. Y gene, it codes for the enzyme permease, and A gene, it codes for the enzyme transacetylase. So therefore, the I gene that encodes repressor in the absence of lactose or without lactose, it binds to the operator and blocks the transcription. So this is negative control. Catabolite control of the LAC operon. The operon is inducible by lactose to maximal levels when cyclic AMP and catabolite, they form a complex. Under conditions of high glucose, a glucose breakdown product inhibits the enzyme aryl cyclase. So high concentration of glucose will inhibit the enzyme aryl cyclase, and thereby it prevents the conversion of ATP to cyclic AMP. Under conditions of low glucose, when cyclic AMP is present, under conditions of low glucose, there is no breakdown product, and therefore aryl cyclase will be active and cyclic AMP is formed. When cyclic AMP is present, it acts as an allosteric effector complexing with catabolite activator protein, and it forms the CAP-CAMP complex. The CAP-CAMP complex, it acts as an activator of LAC operon transcription by binding to a region within the LAC promoter, and it controls transcription. So coming to negative and positive control of the LAC operon by LAC repressor and catabolite activator protein. In the absence of lactose to serve as an inducer, LAC repressor will bind to the operator regardless of the levels of cyclic AMP and the presence of CAP, and mRNA will be repressed. With lactose present, in the presence of lactose and low cyclic AMP level and glucose present, the lactose will bind to the repressor. Repressor is unable to bind to the operator. Only small amounts of mRNA are produced because the presence of glucose keeps the levels of cyclic AMP low, and thus cyclic AMP catabolite activator protein complex does not form and bind the promoter. So with the repressor inactivated by lactose and with high levels of cyclic AMP present, cyclic AMP binds CAP. The cyclic AMP CAP complex is then able to bind the promoter. The lactoferrin is thus activated and large amounts of mRNA are produced. When CAP binds the promoter, it creates a bend greater than 90 degrees in the DNA. Apparently, RNA polymerase binds more effectively when the promoter in this bent configuration. CAP bound to its DNA recognition site. This part is derived from the structural analysis of the CAP DNA complex. Regulation of the LAC operon. You can see the I gene continuously acts as makes a repressor. Repressor binds to the operator region, blocking the binding of the RNA polymerase to the promoter region. It will prevent the binding of RNA polymerase to the promoter region. It binds to the repressor and changes its shape so that repressor no longer binds to the operator. So the RNA polymerase is then able to transcribe the Z, Y, and A structural genes, so the three enzymes are produced. This will be the simplified Lac-operon model. Z, Y, A are coordinately expressed. The product of the I gene, so the repressor blocks the expression of the Z, Y, and A genes by interacting with the operator. The inducer can inactivate the repressor, thereby preventing interaction with the operator. When this happens, the operon is fully expressed. This is the structure of the inducer of Lac-operon iso beta D IPTG. Thiogalactoside linkage is not cleaved by beta galactosidase, allowing manipulation of the intracellular concentration of this inducer. This IPTG is nothing but isopropyl beta thiogalactoside. This is the heterodimerization of the leucine zipper proteins that can alter their DNA binding specificity. Leucine zipper homodimers bind to symmetric DNA sequences as shown in the left hand and center drawings. These two proteins recognize two different DNA sequences in the DNA. The two different monomers, they combine to form a heterodimer, which now recognize a hybrid sequence composed from one red and one blue region. This is the leucine zipper dimer bound to DNA. Two alpha helical DNA binding domains dimerize through the alpha helical leucine zipper region top to form an inverted Y-shaped structure. Each arm of the Y is formed by a single alpha helix, one from each monomer that mediates binding to a specific DNA sequence in the major groove of DNA. Each alpha helix binds to one half of a symmetric DNA structure. This is the example of yeast GCN for protein, which regulates transcription in response to availability of amino acids in the environment. This is the example of a zinc finger protein, which belongs to cysteine, cysteine, histidine, histidine family of zinc finger proteins named after the amino acids that craft the zinc. This is a three-dimensional structure of the, and that forms an antiparallel beta sheet followed by an alpha helix. Four amino acids that bind the zinc: cysteine 3, cysteine 6, cysteine 19, and histidine 23. They hold one end of the alpha helix family to one end of the beta sheet. Tryptophan operon. So you can see you have the tryptophan 5 different genes. You have trip L, trip E, trip T, trip C, trip B, and trip A, and trip R. These are the genes that codes 5 different enzymes that plays an important role in tryptophan synthesis. So when an repressor, when the concentration of the attenuator goes high, repression occurs, and when the concentration of the repression occurs, that means the mRNA formation or transcription will be attenuated or interrupted, whereas low tryptophan concentration will induce the synthesis of more amount of mRNA that is involved in the transcription. So here, besides, this in this tryptophan operon, you have the leader sequence and also the attenuator sequence. The leader sequence will follow the operator region, which will follow the promoter region. So the promoter region, operator region, and the leader sequence will all come under the regulatory region, whereas the remaining regions which contain the genes for the enzymes, that will constitute the structural genes. Arabinose operon. Arabinose operon also plays an important role in the synthesis of arabinose. So you have arabinose sugar that will be again controlling the synthesis of different enzymes. You have ribokinase, isomerase, and the epimerase. You also have other enzymes. You have RIA, RRB, RRC. You also have the promoter region for RRC, and you also have the promoter region for RRBAD. Similar to other opera, it also has the regulatory genes, control sites, and the structural genes, which will be able to regulate the synthesis of other enzymes such as isomerases and epimerases. Hope you all have had a great idea about the gene regulation in prokaryotes. Thank you. Best wishes.